Right. How do you tell the difference between your Dharma and a deeply held identity? Well, in a word, discernment. But what does it mean to be discerning? Because in a way, that my response begs the question. The first thing to do is to acknowledge how challenging that is. Because the grip of your identity, so strong. It's your conditioning, but we use the word identity because you become so identified with your conditioning. You can use the word identity in other ways, cultural identity, and the culture helps culture you, and therefore it has a positive value. But when we talk about identity, we're talking about identity with programming, identity with conditioning, identity with a belief system, identity with that which you think is your truth, but is in fact what holds truth at bay. And so how do you sort that out? One way, the hard way, is through the quality of unified field that they thought Shani, Saturn. Hard knocks. If you don't live in harmony with your true nature, if you're clinging to an identity, you keep getting hit over the head until finally you pay attention and you try something new. You see? The austere guru, you could almost say, I don't like the word punitive, because it's not really punitive. But the guru that teaches life's lessons through living life out of harmony with natural law and holding up that mirror, you see. The other value is Brihaspati. Jupiter, the benefic guru. The guru that gives out knowledge freely on a silver platter. And much of that knowledge you have. How do you go about inner exploration? How do you work on your issues? How do you know if this is your identity or your conditioning or your truth or your divinity or what? It's a process. And we give so many tools to help facilitate that process. You see? But we emphasize that the tools are not the gold. Because sometimes people take the tools and turn them into a goal. If I follow all these tools, they become rules. And if I follow all these rules, then I'm living my Dharma. No. That's mistaking the shovels for the gold that you use the shovels to dig for. The gold is an abstraction. It's an abstraction. It's not a rule book. It's an abstraction that dwells in your heart, in your soul. And the question is, how do you go about resting into that place? Because you can't take it by storm, huh? It has to be rested into. And there's a natural current to life, you see, that carries you there. You could say that's grace, divine grace. There's a natural flow to all of life that carries you to your Dharma, carries you to God, carries you to your divinity. But it's as if you're on a stream, and there, on the banks, there are roots and rocks that you cling to fight that flow. In the name, oftentimes, of finding that goal. I'm going to cling to these principles and these rules that I receive, knowing that if I can just hang on to these and follow these, that I'm at the goal. And all that does is keep you from allowing the current of life to carry you to the goal. To Maha. You see?